Now, I would like to welcome and offer a round of applause for BTN Best Practitioner Sabrina Hinke, Travel Manager Americas for Mondelez International. Sabrina, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Sabrina took a heavily outsourced meetings program which relied on third parties to source and recommend meeting locations, and reformulated that program with the help of a big data technology program that allowed her decentralized meeting organizers to source their own meeting locations quickly and effectively, filtering on cost, safety, and now in 2020, you extended that to sustainability and other factors as well. Throughout the process, Sabrina drove innovation and practical application at partner Troop Travel, which has shown its innovation prowess at numerous industry events, but really needed a committed customer to execute their concepts in a real-world environment. Through the process, Mondelez, and specifically Hinke, drove the evolution of the Troop Travel product to solve on-the-ground challenges. Plus, she saved outsourcing dollars for her company, and feedback from meeting organizers at Mondelez has been incredibly positive over the course of the year-long pilot program. Thank you so much for joining us today, Sabrina, and congratulations on being named a Best Practitioner.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good afternoon and good evening to all the audience. Thank you.
What moved you to reformulate your meetings program at Mondelez?
Well, as Mondelez is present in more than 126 countries around the world, frequently is needed to define the best location to meet. Troop brings simplification to the meetings and events planner, developing a user-centric experience where they can quickly and easily obtain data to start in the meetings and events decision and organize.
Very good. And how is that different than what you were doing prior?
Well, firstly, user needed to reach out to different channels to obtain all data information needed. We reformulate the program, increasing the strategic level, provide all needed in one platform, optimizing time and costs. During the first phase of the pilot, one user told us she reduced around 1 week of work, in some minutes just using the platform to obtain the data for analysis.
Amazing. So a week of work that went down to a few minutes. That's amazing. So how did you determine that that big data approach would put your program on a path to the future? I mean, it sounds like what you just said, the reduction in labor involved in initiating a meeting was really cut down. What else was on your list?
Exactly. Well, so we more than provides only information to users organize the meeting, we also provide the data to them previous to take decision and to organize, having like just in few clicks all the information that they need in one channel or in one place, and when they need some additional support, Troop also provided this individually and also to groups.
Very good. And how did you roll that out to your meeting organizers, and what was their response? I know you had quite a long pilot, and development was happening over that entire time.
Yes, so well, we worked with a select audience in the company, presenting the project, and I told it to them that the founders of the platform were looking for real feedback to deeply understand the user needs to develop the two accords before the implementation. So at the end, we made people to feel important to the company to our project, and I can tell you that yes, they really liked and embraced the idea to participate.
And I saw some feedback that you sent me from some of your users. Can you encapsulate some of that for me? What was their response? Just that they really appreciated the data, that they really were looking deeper into the locations to figure out what was right?
Exactly. And well, more than that, they can obtain through the reports more information, not only about costs, CO2 emission, and etc., but also, for example, how many times the group will expand traveling until the place where they are going to meet,
Right.
and other information that are the key to decide where to meet.
Right. So how many layovers and how much sort of hardship on the traveler it is to get to that location. That's a really interesting aspect to take into consideration, sort of the well-being of the traveler along the trip. And I think we're hearing a lot about that today. So how did you work with your platform provider, Troop Travel, to solve for new and changing requirements during the pilot? You mentioned that you got a lot of feedback from your early users. What else? What else were you doing to give them feedback?
Yes, this is a really great question, because let's say the result of the project would not be achieved without the supplier engagement. Troop listened to the user needs and promptly worked to updating the tool to the next stage. And we presented these updates to the users, and I can tell that in 1 year we have more than 5 versions of the tool. And as I mentioned, also we provide an excellent support for individual users and group that organize meetings, especially in the last year.
Very good. And I think one of the challenges, and I think kind of a little, a real disappointment in terms of your pilot, and you were just set to roll out as COVID-19 was leaving China and sort of starting its march around the globe. And you were so excited about the program, but it really had to come to a stop. How did that affect your program, and what have you been able to continue to do this year despite the COVID-19 challenges?
Good question, Elizabeth. Well, firstly, we had to put the official global launch on road. But in the last around 6 months, Troop worked in new enhancements of technology, covering COVID and adding new features into the platform to support the organizers also with local and small meetings. So currently, we are defined like soft launch that will happen per market, and accord we start to meet again.
So you're actually now also looking at more local meetings to put through the tool, and you can make some decisions and have some more local data there. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly.
Very good. And I think that's going to become more important as we return to travel. We may not immediately be going to these international locations because of regulations and borders are not opened yet. So very interesting development in that program. How are you positioned to meet Mondelez's meeting needs as soon as meetings resume? Tell us about that.
Well, when, let's say, the situation starts to improve, will be a great opportunity to show something new to the users, including covering the new considerations of the reality. Uh, but same during the pandemic that is still ongoing, we are having few contacts with people that are interesting for updates in our meetings and events program. And this is also an opportunity to show to these people the new version that the platform that are being developed to supporting these needed. So let's say same the project is on hold, Troop is working on that. We are working with the internal clients and communication. So yeah, we will wait for the launch, but anyway, we are taking actions accordingly.
Very nice. Well, Sabrina, I know there's more to your story. We have to cut our interview now, but I want to thank you again for joining us and sharing this information, and we are going to keep following the progress of your program, and we really look forward to seeing what happens when the industry begins to recover in 2021. Thank you so much for being here.